I just spent $104 to have lunch with the princesses inside that castle. Is it worth it? Let's find out. Today, I am in Magic Kingdom to have lunch at Cinderella's royal table. Yes, we are eating in Cinderella's castle with the princesses themselves, but there's only one issue. It costs $104 for this meal. And I'm gonna let you know if I think this meal is worth it or not. I haven't dined here since I was a child, sporting a belle dress of my own. So as apprehensive as I am to dine here because of the price tag, I'm also kind of excited. So let's head inside. As soon as we entered the castle, we were greeted by Cinderella, who's taking photos kind of before you sit down for your meal. There's a PhotoPass photographer there to take all of your family photos and stuff, and we were just thrown right into it. I was not expecting that. I had absolutely nothing prepared, so here's just some footage of Cinderella. But after we met Cinderella, we made our way up the stairs, and we were greeted by a host up here who let us know that we actually have the best table in the house. And man, I've got to agree, this table is amazing. I didn't even ask for a table by the window or anything, but we have the best view of Fantasyland. And this is a character dining meal, so who else would I be dining across from than my brother?
I will be no use to you today. I do not like face character interactions whatsoever. I struggle very difficultly with it, as you could probably tell from these clips from before with Cinderella. I'm not looking forward to this meal.
So the reason that I know the exact price of this meal is, oh my god, the fireworks for the stage, that was interesting. But the reason that I know the exact price of the meal is because you actually have to pay before you show up to the restaurant. As soon as you make the reservation, you are charged for your meal. And this is a prefix meal, so you get an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert, a choice of one from each of the categories. For our lunch, it costs $84 plus tax and gratuity. For children aged 3 to 9, it costs $49 plus tax and gratuity. That pricing is for lunch and for dinner as well. And for breakfast, I got this all pulled up here. It's too many numbers to remember. For breakfast, adults are $69 and children 3 to 9 are $42, both plus tax and gratuity. So if you were wanting to dine here on a little bit of a cheaper scale, it is a bit cheaper to come for breakfast, but of course, like, the options for breakfast wouldn't normally cost that much, and I prefer a dinner meal, so we decided to come for lunch. Same menu for lunch and dinner. I said dinner meal, but we're here for lunch. Yes, just two adults spending $104 each to dine with the princesses in Cinderella's castle. So as upset as I am about the price, I definitely think that this view might make up for it. I mean, we are dining with probably the best view that you could ever get from a table inside the Magic Kingdom. We can pretty much see all of Fantasyland, the carousel, the Sword in the Stone, Sir Mickey's, see the roof of Pinocchio's. This view is seriously amazing, and I think it would be even better at night during the fireworks, because you would have a full-on fireworks view. They'd be happening right back here. Let's take a look over the menu here, and this is a table service dining in the Magic Kingdom, so you are able to order alcohol. They have plenty of wines here for you, as well as some specialty wine cocktails, a champagne flight. Okay, Cinderella's royal table. But let's get to the important part of this ever so large menu. It actually doesn't even fit on the table. It's so large. So you get a choice of an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. Looking over the appetizers, we have a braised beef, soup of the day, which today is butternut squash. You also have a salad to choose from and shrimp, chilled jumbo shrimp, that is. For our entrees, you could choose one as well. They have roasted lamb chops, Parisian gnocchi, a grilled filet mignon, marinated grilled chicken, and a crab-topped catch of the day. And then they've got the desserts on here as well. They have the Jack and Gus, which is just a cheesecake, Clock Strikes 12, which is like a chocolate dessert, and the Coffee Pots de Creme. So yeah, we made all our selections already. They have you take your full order all at once. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but this is a character dining meal as I sip my Diet Coke in this Dollar Tree looking glass. Fountain beverages are included with your meal, as well as, of course, the character interactions, which I actually don't see any characters in here yet. Obviously, you meet a bunch of the princesses. I'm not sure which ones because, again, I have not dined here since I was a tiny child. So I don't know who we're going to meet. And I'm sorry for continuing to harp on the price, but this is probably going to end up being one of the most expensive restaurants I ever review.
Where did you just eat? Didn't you just eat at Victoria and Albert's?
It's still the second most expensive restaurant I have ever reviewed on this channel. And because of the price, I am going to be judging the food as if I'm paying $104. Like, I'm going to be judging the food as if it's a signature restaurant. It should be very good. And I'm not going to hold back on my criticisms. This is going to be a 100% honest review of the dining experience as a whole, while also taking that hefty price tag into consideration. I was also given a wishing star. I'm not really sure what this is for, but maybe we'll make some wishes with it. Our tiny appetizers have arrived at the table, and I believe there's an undisclosed aioli sauce on my plate. I have to find that out. Also, this was supposed to be jumbo shrimp, jumbo chilled shrimp. This is like actually medium chilled shrimp. I mean, this is surely not jumbo, and it only comes with 4. So let's hope the flavor makes up for it, and let's also hope that's not an undisclosed aioli on the plate. I got some things cleared up. Okay, it is actually a corn puree under the shrimp, so we are in the clear. I'm very happy there was not an undisclosed mayo on the plate, and I'm all clear to eat. Well, let's go for it. This is the chilled jumbo shrimp. It has an avocado mousse, crispy peppers, and micro cilantro. I'm putting my finger next to this jumbo shrimp for comparison. Let's try it out. Get some of that sauce. Tastes like shrimp. The avocado mousse and the corn puree, there was honestly just a dollop of that corn puree. You couldn't really taste it because there was so little. It was kind of almost both of them were like flavorless. The shrimp is pretty decent, has a nice almost like cocktail sauce type of marinade on it. It tastes good, but it's definitely not jumbo shrimp, and it's definitely not the size that I would expect for the price of this meal. Okay, now that I have tried my appetizer, I want to give Ryan's a go. He ended up going with the braised beef, which has carrot and coriander puree, shallot jam, and horseradish gremolata. And there's no way you cannot tell me that this does not look like a cow hoof or a cow pie, one of the two. It doesn't look the best, but let's dig in here. I can't even get it off the...
You gotta cut it with the side.
You shouldn't have to cut braised beef. It should just fall apart on your fork. It's very tough, so I will tell you that. Let's get some of this jam here, a little bit of the chive oil and whatever that is on the bottom too. The jam here kind of makes it. That's like the whole kind of thing that's making the dish for me. It doesn't taste as bad as it looks, I will tell you that. But again, the portion for the price that we are paying to eat here is honestly not good. Not good at all. This plate is way too tiny. As we're finishing up our appetizers, I think the princesses are starting to come. And here's Aurora. Wow, this lighting is amazing on us. My fairy made my outfit, correct. And after meeting Sleeping Beauty, the room is starting to fill up with princesses. I see Jasmine right behind. Merida just walked in, which is a surprise. I didn't know Merida met. Is Merida a princess?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. And who else? Oh, Ariel's here as well. So I'm pretty sure it's one of the only places that you can like have a character meal with Ariel and Merida. That's unique. But I think these princesses that are here do kind of rotate. I think it's like not the same every time. So keep that in mind. The princesses that I'm seeing today could be different when you're here. So I'm here dining with my brother, of course, as you know, as he's finishing the rest of his beef. And Ryan is doing something really funny in his video. Tell him what you're doing.
This is a personal challenge for myself. I am trying to say during every single character interaction the phrase, well, if the shoe fits. Obviously, because we're at Cinderella's royal table, that makes sense. It's become very hard, and luckily Ariel has legs today, so...
Well, I'm feeling kind of salty, because after the princesses walked around, they gave all the kids a sword or a wand, and they didn't offer Ryan or I one. I feel left out and distraught. Yes. I want a sword.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Well, I guess I gotta get the wand then. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yeah.
We spoke too soon. We didn't even say anything. They just came over and offered us swords and wands. Maybe me and Ryan can duel later. After we met some of the princesses, our entrees have arrived at the table, and these definitely look more promising than the appetizers. Ryan and I both opted for the grilled filet mignon. This has potato pave, roasted seasonal vegetables, and a house-made steak sauce. Well, it doesn't cut like butter, so...
You don't know where that's been.
That is true. Oh, that's really gross. Ryan's a heathen and ordered his steak well done, but I got medium rare. Let's cut into this and see how well it's cooked here. I guess it's pretty good. The flavor's good. I actually really like that house-made steak sauce that they got on there. It's pretty delicious. Pretty tender as well. The filet is the best thing I've eaten so far. And I feel like every time I come to like a pre-fixed kind of menu place, I always end up trying to order like the most expensive thing on the menu that would be most expensive in my head, just to kind of like get my money's worth. So that's why I ended up going with the filet. The lamb chops on the menu also sounded really good, but yeah. Went with the filet because I feel like it's a little pricier. Well, the filet is hitting. Let's try this potato here and see if it's as good. I think they called it a potato pave. It's basically just like layered potatoes. They have one similar. You're so close to me.
It's good.
They have one similar at Flying Fish. It's really good, like a layered potato. So let's see how this one compares. Pretty flavorless, honestly. It needs like some cheese or something. Some cheese in the center of the layers. It literally just tastes like potatoes, which I guess is fine, but it could be better.
Kristen, these potatoes taste like potatoes.
These potatoes taste like potatoes, but you know, you want a little oomph in there, a little it factor. And I still have some of my shrimp left from my appetizer, so it's like we got a little surf and turf moment going on here. A little surf, a little turf. Still tastes like shrimp. How is he gonna get it in here?
I don't know for sure if that's something that you've tried before, but you know, if the shoe fits. No. Okay.
Ryan also got in his if the shoe fits, so he's 3 for 3 so far. We might have to go back and meet Cinderella again downstairs so that you could be 5 for 5. Or eventually. You're only 3 for 3 right now, but we haven't met the 4th one yet, but I think Merida is coming right now. Ryan's stressing. I see him over here waiting for Merida, wondering how he's going to get the shoe fits in.
I'll find a way.
You know, next character dining meal, I'm going to come up with a phrase and try and say it. I think this is a great idea. Hey, Merida.
Hey. Are you having a great time in the kingdom so far?
We are having a great time. We're enjoying some great food.
I'm sure it'll be a lot better once you're nice and full too, won't it?
I know, yes.
Fuel up. Later today, we're taking archery lessons.
You
so
are?
If you have any pointers, we'd love to hear them.
Some shoes will do.
Yeah.
See, mine are nice and flat. You don't want anything tall and tiptoes. Then you might be off balance.
Yeah.
And the shoe must fit as well, correct? You can't. Okay.
She loses shoes all the time. I don't think she'd be great at it.
We saw her downstairs. Yeah.
One with a big dress.
Yeah, she did have her 2 shoes on though, so. But she's not doing archery today, so I think she's in the clear.
Well, I could always try and teach her, but I'd let her borrow my shoes.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah,
if the shoe fits.
If the shoe fits, okay.
Right?
Well, not only did Ryan succeed on that one, I know you guys heard me say it too.
What'd you say?
I said if the shoe fits. It made no sense when I said it, but I just had to do it just to mess around. I don't know what I'm going to wish for yet. Beauty sleep? You know what? I might go for that too. Oh, cake. Well, I think we now know what our wishing star is for. I think we're going to hold it up and twirl it around or something. Maybe we have to like throw it at each other.
They gave us these throwing stars. I really don't know for sure what the wish.
Oh, they said put it in your heart.
I wish this meal cost less money. That is my wish today.
I wish I made smart financial decisions. Bippity boppity boo.
Bippity boppity boo. strobe lights in the ceiling.
That was so anticlimactic. You couldn't even hear the audio, like I mentioned. But we made our wish. One thing I will say about the princess interactions at this restaurant is that they do spend a good amount of time at your table, but they're in and out. Like, as soon as they've met every table in the restaurant, they are gone, and I don't think they're coming back to meet you a second time. Like, usually if you stay at like other character dining meals for a little bit longer, they'll come around maybe like a second time. You'll get like a quick greeting with them. But here, I think they're pretty much done already. They were only in the restaurant for maybe like a total of 20, 30 minutes, and they're pretty much dipping out. Restaurants starting to empty out, and the princesses are gone. For dessert, I went with the Jacques and Gus. This is a cheesecake with seasonal flavors and garnishes. I love a good cheesecake, and I'm hoping there's maybe like something in the center of this one. I hope it's not just like a plain cheesecake. It's definitely just a plain cheesecake. It's okay. I like the graham cracker crumble on the bottom. I wish there was more of like a fruit sauce, so you could kind of get a good like fruit cheesecake there. It's not bad, but I definitely think Ryan's dessert looks a lot better. And now let's try Ryan's dessert, which is the Clock Strikes 12. This is a dark chocolate mousse with a caramel and crunchy praline center, served with chocolate sauce and hazelnut gelato. And Ryan's is definitely the dessert that is kind of like the signature one that everyone probably sees in photos and stuff. It's definitely like the signature dessert here. Ryan is telling me that it's great, and you gotta get a bite of the little mousse situation with some of the gelato situation. So we've got both. Let's try it out. I like the little crunchy bits of the praline in there. It's good. It's a chocolate mousse dessert. Pretty delicious. As we were finishing up our dessert, they brought the check over, and to my surprise, they actually have a 10% annual pass holder discount. So instead of $104, Ryan and I actually got to each spend $94. So that's a bargain. Well, with that, we are done with our meal, and it's going to take everything to pry me away from this view that we've got. I really think this view kind of like will make a difference in my overall review of the restaurant, because it is truly amazing. I know here we are, back in the human world, as our favorite princess that we just met might say. We just had lunch at Cinderella's royal table. Haven't been inside there in ages. It was pretty cool being inside the castle. Like I said multiple times, we had the best seat in the house, that is for sure. I would definitely request to be seated in the room by the windows and stuff, just so you have a bit of a better view. I feel like our experience would have been a hell of a lot different if we were seated kind of in one of the back corners there. I feel like it definitely makes the experience more magical if you are seated by the windows. So I would suggest you guys request to be seated there. Maybe they can accommodate you. Hopefully they can, but it's worth a try asking. In terms of the food, I was definitely a little disappointed by the quality of the food for the price tag. Mainly the appetizer round. I feel like they should have had like more fancier appetizers as options. I just don't think any of them were really like worthy of that price tag. I think they should have had something, a little bit fancier. I did enjoy the entree the most. That's where I think the meal excelled. The dessert was pretty solid, no complaints there. And if you have a child or you yourself really love princesses, then I say, hey, maybe this meal is worth it to do once. I would say you probably don't have to come every time you visit Disney World, or like more than once ever in your life. But if you have never been inside the castle and you have never eaten at Cinderella's royal table, I say it is worth a shot dining here just one time. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
What did you think of your lunch today?
Well, when somebody says the phrase once in a lifetime, that usually means something extremely positive. But this time it means do it once and then you're pretty much done. I thought it was really fun. It was great. It wasn't worth the money. I know that's something that Kristen always tries highlighting in her videos, is like, okay, is this worth it? And that's something that I always look for, especially when watching the best foodie reviewer in the entire world.
Too kind. If someone has a child that really enjoys princesses, do you think they should come to Cinderella's royal table?
I definitely think they should. You could also meet most of these, I can't say it.
Yeah, you can.
You could also meet so many princesses over at Fairy Tale Hall, which is just literally feet from the entrance of this restaurant, and you won't have to pay anything on top of. Wow, you're really close. On top of your theme park ticket, so you could just go to Princess Fairy Tale Hall and meet, 3 to 4 princesses just like that, bam, 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 and you're not paying $100-something for it.
Another thing I want to mention is how hard it is to find a reservation at Cinderella's Royal Table. Ryan loves character dining, so him and I were trying to come get a reservation at Cinderella's Royal Table for quite some time, honestly, like over 2 weeks. And we did really want to come during lunch so we could have the light seeping in. Makes for a better video, mainly. So we wanted to come for lunch, and we could not find a lunch reservation for weeks. The only thing that was coming up were reservations at like 9:50 p.m., 10 p.m., really, really late times. We lucked out with a 12:35 reservation. I used a Disney Dining reservation finder tool, and they sent me a notification that there was a reservation for 12:35. I hopped on it right away, and we were able to snag it. But keep that in mind. If you are wanting to dine at this restaurant, definitely plan far in advance, because it is quite difficult to find a reservation. You could always try to do walk-up as well. I know they do have a walk-up list, but on busier days, especially like how busy it is this week with spring break and Easter, might be a little more difficult to join. So make sure you plan in advance if you want to dine here. So yeah, Ryan and I definitely agree on this. It's like a one and done experience. Definitely something that you should try and experience if you have the funds to do so, but it is very pricey. So maybe just do it once in your life, and that's all you need. Cheers.
Are we gonna fight each other with these? I thought that was what we were gonna end the video with.
We can. I want to give a shout out to my Patreon subscribers: Angela, Ashley, Barbara, the Calcanes family, Catherine, Lindsay, Misty, Shelby, Adam and Jen, and Brittany, Karis, Chelsea, Carol, Danielle and Marcel, Dante, Dustin and Nancy, Emily, Ethan, John Paul, Christina, Leah, Tori, Lisa, the Martell family, Michael, Pickle, the Latham Thomas family, Tracy, Wayne, Jermaine, Eric, the Weaver family, Janet and Gary, Stephen, Andrea, Jessica, the Leibowitz family, Abigail and Robin, and Jamie and Andrew. Plenty more Disney food content coming your way. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to see where I'm eating next, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.